I'm a day one middle-aged guy like you.
Yes.
And I deal with the younglings.
Yes.
And I observe and I love your commentary on it. And I'm finding that saying to them, you're not very skilled, so this brain power's a little short, and you don't work very hard, so show up. They don't like it when I tell them that. And so the interesting part is that when I'm working with them, and some of them have a chance, what's your perspective on dealing with the younglings as a day one guy? How do you get them to do stuff without telling them that they're stupid and lazy?
I actually think of it in reverse. I mean, most of my 22 and 23-year-olds would look in your face and think that you're finished. And that, like, fuck you.
Yeah, and
like,
I'm trying to make money for them, they don't care. I'll make money fall out of the sky, and they tell me it's irrelevant.
But the question, it's not that it's not about cool or what have you. What you define as money might be different than the way they define as money. Like, okay, cool, how much money are you gonna make for your 23-year-old? Give me a number.
I'll probably do about $40 million for him this year.
No, not for them. Rick doesn't get $40 million. How much does Rick, the 23-year-old, get? And give me the truth, because the number isn't high.
Yeah. Owner of the company, I mean, I don't know if he'll probably get $2-3 million compensation this year.
Explain. Let's go further. I want to know how a 23-year-old gets $2 to $3.
I got a company founder.
Okay.
I am an old school web strategy guy. I know what works.
Yep.
Send the email, do the this, put in the time every day. Don't want to do that. Highly resistive, and it's a communication problem for me.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why don't you just do it for yourself? Yeah, that's the real question, right? Like, cool, if you know what the fuck you're talking about, do it for yourself. I do. I work harder and I'm smarter than all my 22-year-olds. I'm better at social media than everybody at VaynerMedia. I'm looking at them right now, just to remind them. Like, so honestly, I think you're rolling with like trying to razz them. Razz yourself.
Who influenced you?
My parents. And that's it. And I know it's like, I get mad at this question because I feel like it's either cliche or maybe, I always ask myself, am I too egotistical to give it to somebody else? It's just the truth. Like, I don't look at Elon Musk or Zucks or Cuban or the president or, I don't do that. It's just not real, it's just not true. I look at my parents, I know their truths, I know they came to this country with nothing. You know, I know that my dad worked every minute. I didn't even know him until I was 14. I know that my mom is the foundation of my self-esteem, which is the driving fuel of my success. There's not even a close second to the entity of my parents. And I don't know these other people. I know their public persona in the same way that a lot of you don't know me. As a matter of fact, the thing I probably am happiest about in the world is the people that come into VaynerMedia that have some sense of me, I think like me a lot more 2 or 3 years later when they get to look under the hood. But I'm too scared maybe to even give that away to somebody else without knowing that I won't have the time to look under the hood. Anybody who's losing their hustle has a lot of variables, and there's a lot of variables in this episode. This is the variable episodes where there's a lot of context points, not just direct answers today. Listen, you might not be passionate about your North Star anymore. I've been going through something. Let me actually break some shattering news here. For the first time in my life, I've been thinking about weird things like sabbaticals and building a business school in Haiti for 5 years and like I love, listen, I'm still all about buying the New York Jets and it's the process of that and the game, but it's amazing for me to be in tune with myself, the maturity, like as you get older, like just like my kids are 6 and 3 and they're interesting. Like they're interesting. And like I start projecting, what do they look like at 13 and 15? Like it'd be really cool to like, I don't believe in the school system as much as everybody. Like, do I just take them and go do something rogue? Like, just different things. Like, you just evolve. And you might have just lost your North Star. The thing that you thought you were going for might not be. It's why I was always happy that I didn't want $1 million, or I didn't want fame, or I didn't want a car or private plane, or these little things. Like, it was fun to be like, I want to buy the jets, and what that always meant to me is I want the process of buying the jets, which means I get to hustle forever because that's who I am. Maybe you've lost who you are or what you want, or maybe you've accomplished kind of, or maybe you feel it's achievable. I would be crushed if I thought what I wanted to achieve was super achievable. I mean, it happened to me in the wine business. It's happening at Vayner. Like, as Vayner is becoming a player in the agency world, and we're not like, now we're like, oh. Like, and soon we're gonna be like, oh. Like, you know, like, that's not as fun for me. I like being the underdog. I like the climb, you know? I like that. So maybe that's happened. Maybe you're just tired. I mean, I think one of the things that the New York Jets do for me that nobody understands is those hours. Actually, you just caught something on Garyvee, right? Me talking to Jeff. That was the first time I talked business during a Jets game in 15 years. I looked at my phone at the wrong time. It was a very big thing, and only spent a second on it. Like, I am escaped and relaxed. And by the way, I didn't care about it. Like, that's how excited, like, those 3-4 hours of escapism. Maybe you need some vacation time. Maybe you need to look at the people around you. Maybe you need to change. Maybe you need to break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. There's a lot of intense different things that can be happening. Or maybe you can take a step back and really listen to this statement, which is, you've lost your hustle because you really are not in tune to why you're doing it, right? You're just not in tune to what you're doing it. That you're maturing and realizing like a Ferrari or a fat watch or courtside tickets or custom Nikes, I just wanted to show them, is not what you're living for. And so, it's funny, tonight I'm going to the Charity Water Gala. I never thought of myself 10 years ago as somebody who would be so involved in nonprofits, sitting on the board of Pencils of Promise, donating. I was old school, I'm 40, I'm older. Like this new narrative of much better people, and that's what I think you guys all are. I think you're a much better generation. I grew up thinking I'll get rich, and when I'm old, I'll be like giving out money and doing that stuff. So you just evolve, right? And so maybe you like me, like I haven't gone completely like, I don't have enough money. Like my kids can give away all of the money, but I don't have that luxury yet. But maybe you want to do nonprofit. Maybe you want to build schools for Pencils of Promise and we'll take you in Laos. Like maybe you've lost your purpose. So take a good step back, shut down. Shut down for 24, 48, 72 hours. Go away. Go away like this. This is how I want you to shut down. Go to Airbnb. This is a 2016 way to shut down. Go to Airbnb, find a very remote place. Do you have to go? Oh, I'm taping something. Yeah, I'm just wrapping up the show. Sorry. Go to Airbnb, find a very remote place that you can get to at a low cost, like a crappy cabin far away on a 4-hour drive where you can like just drive because you can, or like somebody will drive you there, or like hitchhike. I don't give a crap. Lowest cost, furthest away, seclusion, and just be with yourself and start talking to yourself for real. Really talk to yourself for real. One of the great things I do with myself is I talk to myself for real. Nobody is a harsher critic and a bigger fan of themselves than me. And I think that friction in both directions matters.
Do you find time for health and wellness in that schedule?
Well, I wasn't doing health and wellness as of June of last year, and finally I've been thinking about it for a while, and I finally figured out what was happening, which is I believe with health and wellness, and probably everything, you're either accountable to yourself or you're not, bless you. And so in every other part of my life, I'm accountable. I feel accountable, especially with my businesses. Like the rigor, the sense of responsibility I have for the other 550 employees is greater than my own well-being. And when I said that, notice even how I said the sentence. I just said I'm accountable to myself, but I explained it as I was accountable to other people. And what I just did with you, by accident, is how I figured this out. I was like, what's the matter with me? I'm gonna die. Like I'm gonna lose. Or I'm not gonna be able to do as many cool things. Like this is not gonna work. This is black and white. I'm gonna treat my body like a business. I've audited, I'm gonna lose. I've lost. And so then I said, why is that? I'm so good at these other things. And I realized, holy crap, the things I'm best at are when I'm accountable to somebody but not myself. So I realized I'm gonna introduce a person. I'm gonna hire a full-time health person, and I'm more accountable to Mike than I am to myself. The reason I work out every single day is I don't wanna let Mike down. I have to be down at 5:45 because Mike's gonna be upset. And so I hacked myself. And so where do I find health? I found it. Like I just do it every day. There's an hour every day scheduled, like period, end of story. I work out every day of my life, and I changed my eating behavior because of it, because fuck if I'm gonna do the work, And that's how I hacked it. I reverse engineered what I was doing. I think everybody here is either accountable to themselves or accountable to others, and you need to self-audit yourself and figure out if you're not doing well in business, maybe you need to hire a couple of employees because maybe you'll feel a sense of responsibility to them. Maybe that's the motivation you're looking for.
So in Vegas tomorrow morning, you will work out at that time even though you're in Vegas?
Yes, and Mike isn't going on a flight, and usually he travels with me the whole nine, but this is a quick in and out.
Right.
But I will have to FaceTime with him while I do cardio, because I truly, if I don't, won't do it as well. I was living within the means of $80,000 a year. The thing that I'm keep pounding is like, live within your means, you'll never be vulnerable. Right, a lot of us have come from like listening to like places we come from and like just kind of living, like obviously some of us not, but like I don't know, like, if you make $47,000 a year, you can live without debt. You just have to live a $47,000 a year lifestyle. The problem is when people make $47,000 a year with credit cards and the American way, they live $80,000 lifestyles. And so like, to me, why I was always dangerous when I was building Vayner was I was making no money, but I was paying rent for my apartment and I didn't spend money on almost anything else. Yeah. So that's what keeps you strong in those scenarios. Humans are animals. Automation is always a vulnerability. Keep that in mind. The other part is when you do it, you're getting especially when you're posting something and you're getting the feedback, you're getting insights. So I think there's nothing wrong with it, but like it won't come, like if you have a purpose against it, which is to create something that has a connection that might lead to awareness to what you're doing, the automation works against you. That's why I don't do it. You're not getting what you want from it. You think so because you're not, like, it's so funny, you'll appreciate this. If you spend 6 cents on something and you don't get the dollar back for it, you didn't accomplish the goal. You just wasted 6 cents. People think automation's winning for them, it's losing for them. It might cost me 39 cents in theory to do it non-automated, but I get the dollar. That's where, that framework is why a lot of automation's not working, because people can sense it. So that's the thing you gotta watch out for.
That balance. It's better for me to
post less,
and have a frequency of a big post.
You got it. It's so funny to me that people, this is what pisses me off at times when people wanna make up shit about me. The thought that somebody would compromise their reputation for any short-term financial gain blows my mind. Where I get really crazy is when people like think I'm doing something wrong for like $4,000. He pumped and dumped that. I'm like, dude, like, I once turned down an opportunity in China for $30 million because I thought it would compromise me for a day. An infomercial, MLM kind of like bullshit thing. Yeah. 30 million for a day. Yeah, I'm gonna buy an NFT, tweet about it, and sell it, and make $17,000. Like, people are so silly. It drives me crazy.
What if you do that?
I know you pumped and dumped Zions. I'm like, no, you don't, because it didn't happen. So that's what drives me. That's where people are very not thoughtful when they don't know.
How do you, because you're there, you're listening, but like, how does that not wear on you? Like,
because I'm detached. Yeah, I'm really detached.
Over time, did that happen?
It's why I think my strength is humility. I'm detached from the accolades. Okay. The accolades are harder to be detached from than the negative.
How do you manage being detached in a business and then being attached in your personal life?
I treat them very similarly. I'm very good at not having expectations, which doesn't mean that I don't hold people to standards, right? I just really understand the human. It's what I'm great at. So like in my personal life, in my professional life, like I have a lot of compassion, a lot of empathy. I understand why people do shit that doesn't make me happy. It's never confusing to me. I've never been confused by one's behavior. And the more I get to know someone, the more, even in a dinner like this, you give me a couple data points, I'm like, New Orleans, It's just very easy for me to put the patterns together. So in my personal life, I have so much information that I'm not disappointed. In my public life, these are people that have no idea who the fuck I am, casting judgment on me. How could I possibly value their opinion? I've never spent a minute with them in my life. So it's just very easy to
When I'm doing an objective analysis like that, I have a hard time engaging those folks. So I'm like third party. Are you able to like emotionally attach the human being in front of you when you're analyzing them?
One more time, I want to make sure I understood that question.
So, like if you're empathizing with somebody, it usually takes stepping away from the situation, so detaching yourself, but then empathizing with them and being attached. Like, I usually detach myself. I'm gonna I detach myself to like this is a person. I look at this.
I see.
Outside of my shoes.
Oh, you'll appreciate that. I got something very weird for you on that. I'm fully detached, yet can basically feel everything they're thinking. I always say to my friends, one of the things that we always laugh about is, I've always had this saying, I've been saying it since I was like 18, I'm like, I'm the least trickable person on earth. I've never been stunned by somebody. Elijah Moore confused me a little bit recently, but you know, like in real life, I just have too much sixth sense. This is why I believe in weird shit, because I don't understand why that is. That's the luck of the draw. I'll give you a good one that I think you guys would like. When people are trying to manipulate me for their own personal gain inside of my company because they just started and they have no idea that I'm completely untrickable, it's like my favorite meeting because I'm like laughing without showing it. I'm like my brain's like, do you really think, back to like you were in that circle, like all the comments in Discord of what I should do with V-Friends. Gary should, as if we don't think about that. As if I'm not running this business.
Yeah.
Like as if, you know, so, you know, that's how I do it. I'm detached. When you don't have expectations, but you have intuition to why, it's all about understanding like, humans only do like 7, 10, 15 things. We all do the same shit in just different versions, right? And so there's not that many different things that are going on. First of all, there's only 2 things going on. Confident, insecure. There's only 2 things that are actually going on. And then you just start breaking down, everything else is like makeup, they're nuances.
I think for me, is I consider myself an empath, but I'm trying to figure out where that balance is to not be like, put all my emotion in, like feeling all the emotion, but not to the point that, you know, I lose myself or what you're really doing based on the way you painted it, excuse me, is, or what you don't want to do is be the enabler of the bad behavior. That.
Separating your name from the companies, because you somehow do it, even though you're the
Thank you so much.
You somehow separate it.
I do.
How?
By upfront candor. First interaction, Nestle. Before we go anywhere, you will never see me again. I'm the operating CEO of this company. I don't run your account.
Well, that's the answer I needed.
Yep. Upfront, because I'm not, you know, and you're gonna like this. This will, even the way you just responded makes me with the follow-up. I'd rather not have it because I'm gonna lose it anyway, because I'm gonna under-deliver on their expectation, and I'd rather not do it for the sale because it's gonna be a bigger headache. The revenue's not worth it. I'm gonna lose the revenue. Like I'm gonna net lose.
When did you make that decision though? When did you
Intuitively right away. Intuitively right away. I was also not the person I am today when we started VaynerMedia. I had a little something going on. Twitter, I was a G. I was doing some stuff in social, but like corporate America was like, who the fuck is this wine dude? I think there's massive confusion around entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship sucks. I mean, it's lonely. It's high risk. I mean, I can't live without it, but it's like a bad boyfriend, right? Or girlfriend, right? There's a ton of bad days being an entrepreneur. Not to mention 98% of entrepreneurial ventures are gonna fail. So there's gonna be a really bad fucking day in your future. You know, hopefully not for you, or any of you. You know, for me, I think this is a very personal question. I think it's how you're wired. I'm so all in entrepreneur, I prefer the pain. I think one of the reasons I love the Jets so much is because they bring me so much pain. You know, I love the climb. To me, the setback is exciting. I love when something goes wrong. It's where I shine the most. But that's not for everybody, right? I mean, it can be very difficult. And when you start affecting your life and your loved ones and all the other things, it can get real nasty. To me, the way I handle things, even in the few rare days when I really struggle, I take a real step back and make pretend that somebody called me and told me that my mother or daughter were killed. And I know that's very dark, and I apologize, but it's really what I do. I literally am able to, at my deepest, most struggling moment within business, take a step back and remind myself that I can make $1 trillion tomorrow on Bitcoin, and if something bad happened to the people I love the most, that it would mean nothing. And it very consistently rewires me very quickly. I just put business in perspective. At the end of the day, you know, it's money. For me, it's not really money, it's my legacy, so I get hurt by it a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I put it in perspective. It's money. And you know what? Up until I had a daughter, even while I was married, up until when I had Misha 4 years ago, I secretly wanted to lose all my money. I had this weird, twisted, dark fantasy of losing everything just to rise again like a phoenix and remind you motherfuckers. I really did. It was actually, I'm actually glad that's gone, you know?
If that was a hashtag, that'd be like what, sado-capitalistic?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm pure entrepreneur. I believe in capitalism. I like when people go out of business. I'm like, yeah, you deserve it. I believe that. I really do. I really truthfully do. I know it's kind of interesting, but I truly believe like the market is the market. The market is what we should care about. And the consumer is what we should care about. And if the consumer is not being, you know, given what they want, they won't buy. And that means the entrepreneur and the organization missed the boat and they deserve to lose.
Right.
So my rock bottom moment was really my school career. Keep going. Who did I get help from, or what's he gonna say?
Who did you surround yourself, work with? Who was it? Was it your team?
Next.
Was it advisors?
So,
Was it mentors?
stop right there.
Was it a good book?
My mom and dad. That's who were. My mom was building my self-esteem about me. I'll never forget, I opened the door for a woman at McDonald's when I was like 9. My mom, Andy, you don't wanna hang? You got real work. I got it, real work, I'm excited. My mom, you know, made that out to be the greatest thing that a human had ever done. She accentuated, she blew up, she overemphasized great things, which made me a good person. And my dad, you know, instilled unbelievable hard work ethic. My mom did as well. Word is bond, you know, provided for our family, came here with 0. I look up to him so much for that struggle. So my what was the struggles early on in my childhood. My who was my parents who were showing me through their actions, not only their words, what to do.
Who was it that you worked with to get through these tough times? Because I know nobody can do it alone. Why? Why did you do it? Did you do it because you loved somebody and you wanted to show them that you were better than that? I know you got a lot of great...
Stop it. My why back then was I had a chip on my shoulder. I was getting D's and F's. You'll see that soon with my report card content this week. I was getting D's and F's, and the world was telling me I was a loser. My teachers were telling me a loser. My friends' parents weren't saying to my face that I was a loser, but I could see it in their eye that I didn't think I'd be successful, because the game I played, unlike today's game, in the 80s, early 90s, was school was the way out. Going to Harvard was the great accomplishment, not building Facebook or Instagram or being a successful entrepreneur. It was a different landscape. And so, you know, the why was to fucking stick it to everybody. Like I used to sit there as a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old and look at my class and my teachers and I'm like, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show all of you. You think I suck? I'm gonna be the biggest, best person on earth.
Do you feel like your why has changed in the course of your career?
Nope, because that, you know, chip never goes away. It's why I'm willing to put in the work. It's why, and I wanna give. You know, it's funny, we're getting to a theme, I wanna give. Saturday was a selfish thing, spend time with my kids on something I care about. But I've done that. I didn't film before and I had to be very careful because I don't want to show them. Like, I did that because I want to show people. I want to help them. I inspire people. People got pumped over the weekend. Like people went out Sunday morning and made money. I got like real emails in my inbox. Like Sunday morning I got pumped. I bought this printer for 30. I just sold it for 90. I need 60 bucks. 54 after fees. I know, dicks. Let's go.
You, Gary, and that comes from somewhere. So why did you do it? Did you have a deeper purpose? Did you not want to let yourself down or let someone else down? Or did you have a bigger cause in mind when you did it? And then how? What did you do specifically? What steps did you do when you were at your lowest moment?
Yep, let's do it. During that point, what did I do? Is I did what I preached to all of you, which is I put in the work. I gave up all my weekends and holidays in high school because I knew I had to pay that price, because I wasn't gonna do I'm gonna go to school, meet some good kids at Stanford and Brown, Ivy League school, make some relationships, and that's gonna be my springboard. I was gonna start with no relationships and in the gutter, and I was gonna have to prove it, and I would have to show up and meet everybody like I did in my 30s. But in my teens and 20s, I was gonna have to work. And so what I did was, to the extreme of anybody I've met that had options, Some people lose their father, mother, welfare, but anybody who had some options, I punted every leisure activity in my life. Nothing. No weekends, no vacations, zero, nothing. Like we're making jokes about the 7 days. I didn't take a single, and by the way, but it's my truth. I didn't take a single vacation day, never. And I'm sure you worked on your side hustle. I just love you and I don't want to razz you. Like none, zero. All my high school friends, gone because I wasn't around. All my college friends, post-college, gone. I'd see them a little bit. I love those guys, but gone. Girlfriends, nothing, all in. So what did I do? I worked to such an extreme level that when I push you on work, I don't even ask you to do 50% of what I did, and I guarantee you'll fucking win.
How do we help more people? Like, how do people that are in the position you or I am in right now help people to shift this framework? Because right now I know the obsession is they see the writing on the wall, but right now what they're staring down the barrel of is survival and uncertainty.
2 ways to help: speaking truth and financially helping. Black and white and gray.
Nope.
Literally, when this was 3 weeks ago, I'm like, uh-oh. First things I did was hit up Lou and Sid and said, we're buying masks at a premium price right now because by the time all the shit comes from China, these next 3 weeks are gonna suck. So I know I can buy them for 80 cents, but let's buy tens of thousands at $4 and we're gonna donate them to New Jersey and New York hospitals. Second thing I did was start a tea with Garyvee.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Like this is the.
And by the way, not everybody can afford to do what I did on the personal side.
Yes.
But everybody can do what I'm doing right now.
Right. So like something I've been trying to do with my content is I've been trying to gear more people up toward freelancing because the world hasn't completely shut down because there's still like land grabs right now in terms of cash and carry of like, and the thing is.
Oh, there's real opportunity.
Yeah.
There's Roberto, all this, listen, brother, this is just exposing, like I've always said, like you brought up already on this call, winners are winning more.
Truth. Like, truth. I mean, I've been...
Like, VaynerMedia's on the attack.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on the attack. I've got my 15 top executives with me, all on Zoom, all in our LinkedIns, reaching out to anybody we've ever fucking crossed paths with, because we're a fucking offense out here. I'm not dwelling about which customer can't pay me or fucking is gonna fire us because they can't afford anything anymore. I'm going after everybody else's fucking meat.
Yeah. Facts.
I'm gonna eat because I'm a fucking AAA.
What do you think for like people that like haven't quite gotten there yet? Like for the people who watch us, like right now, what do you think is like the most important thing somebody can do over the next 30 days?
You know, because you used to watch me and then you started doing it.
Right. Well,
it's called action.
Got you.
It's like, fucking work ethic. Like, you know what's so crazy? You know, I'm heralded in 2008, 9, 10 for crush it, hustle, because people were hurting and they needed some good energy to work hard. Mm-hmm. Then things got good, and the last 2 years, I'm getting shit on for hustle. You're burning people out, Gary, right? You saw it. You're always in the trenches. I know you watching. Oh, yeah. Guess what is about to become really cool next year? Hustle.
I hear.
Whether you want to call it hustle, that's a bad word now. Fine, let's call it hard work.
15. And my question is, will I look back at all the time I spent on social media and sort of regret all the time I put into it?
I'm sorry, brother?
Oh,
it chopped
my question was, is will I look back at all the time I spent on social media and regret everything I did?
Why?
I mean, I don't know, because I spent so much time like creating content, posting, and trying to build it up, because that's something I want to do in the future, like with business and social marketing, stuff like that.
Are you worried you're gonna regret that?
Yeah.
I doubt it. I see what's happening. You, like millions of others, worry about the thing that you want to happen happening, and if it doesn't happen, then you'll regret it, instead of living like me, which is you do what the fuck you want to do, and if it works out, awesome, but if it doesn't, awesome, because you did what the fuck you wanted to do.
Right.
You're looking for the prize instead of the process.
I know.
You want to live in a hype house and make $1 million a year, fucking rocking like cool hair product because your hair is epic. And what I wanted to do was just go to flea markets and find strawberry shortcakes and flip them. And if that worked, good. But if it didn't, I would never regret it. because it's what I wanted to do. How can you regret something you wanted to do? Easy.
Yeah, I love
if you expect something to happen that doesn't happen, that's how you get fucked. Don't expect, and just love it for what it is, and then see where it plays out.
All right. What were you
gonna do with your time anyway?
Yeah, that's exactly what I fight in my head.
Nothing. So who gives a fuck? You're gonna fucking like play video games, jerk off, hang out with your friends. Like you're gonna do dumb shit anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. So I love doing it. And
the end, bro.
Right.
The fucking end. How the fuck are you gonna regret something you loved?
Yeah.
Only if you have expectations on some 1% shit that doesn't work out, and then you beat yourself up for something that's some 1% shit.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yeah. And what content would you post at my age and like where I'm
whatever
at?
the fuck I want. I mean, listen, I wish I was your age and had like back in the day we had this, like my shit would have been flea markets and video games and like probably some dorky love letters to some girls in high school. Who the fuck knows? Whatever the fuck's on your mind.
All right, thanks.
You can't regret something you loved. You can only be disappointed some weird ambition you had didn't play out. Just do it for the fucking process. Don't do it for the prizes, and your life will be so much better.
Mm-hmm. What are some ways that I could use to engage with my audience and kind of build it up?
Do you reply to every single DM and comment?
I reply to every single positive comment on my TikTok.
So I just think it's more content then.
Okay.
How much are you posting per day?
It depends. It can be like 5 to 20 times a day.
Wow. So you're crushing that. So I would say
I'm on TikTok it's insane right now. I'm loving it.
Just keep tripling down, duets, replying to things, being on trends,
Okay.
Emailing people and seeing if they want to collab. Just you're rolling. Don't put some sort of I'm gonna be a full-time influencer thing on a pedestal. Just keep your head down and process.
All right, thank you.
I'm telling you, man, I never thought like I was gonna be some famous businessman. They didn't exist. They were dorks. I didn't want to be Bill Gates. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. And then it kind of worked out. Do you understand?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Soon I'll be 18 and I think I'm gonna get kicked out. So here's my deal. I want to do so much. I started pushing Instagram, I started pushing TikTok, I started pushing YouTube, and I've started to make like somewhat of a following. But here's my deal. I don't know if I should be getting a job out of high school or should I keep pushing this, and then should I start flip life? Because
all three. If you're not going to go down the traditional path of like college and a job, and in that world, me too. If you're not going to do that, the biggest problem that kids that are not going to college and they're like, Garyvee, I'm like you, is like, I'm like, are you willing to work 18 hours a day?
I'm willing, man.
Well, good. Well, then good news. If you are, and I could see the passion of like, let me rephrase, I can definitely see the disdain for the school system. Now the question becomes, do you have the humility to get a job? Do you have the passion to do flip life and social media on the side while you eat dirt, having a job paying you dick because you were a high school kid?
I'm willing, man.
Good. And then if you're strategic, I think you get a job at Goodwill. You get $8 an hour, but who gives a fuck, because you're there as soon as the shit comes in and you buy up all the good shit, right?
Yeah.
You get a $10 an hour job at a baseball card store, and you learn the sports card thing. I don't know if you listen, brother. I don't know if you've been paying attention to me, especially last week. Like I've been hot on it again because I had time to finally breathe. Like sports cards are fucking crazy.
I've seen them, man. I've seen it.
You like sports or Pokemon? If you don't, it's okay. I just need the answer.
I'm not big into it, but I've attempted to sell my Pokemon cards in the past, but my dad was just so heavily on, you're not gonna sell that online, like there's no sense, it's too expensive, nobody's gonna buy your shit.
So your dad's a no man?
Yes, very much so. That's
why we gotta stick it to him.
That's exactly why he won't let
in a loving way. Well, listen, he's not gonna have control over you in a year.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be a man and stand on your own 2 feet if you're not gonna listen to your dad.
So like
Move
how
out.
do I start this whole thing if I don't have a car and like
you take the bus. You find a friend who drives you. I didn't have a car in college, and I found my friend Spanky. Yes, that's his name. And oh no, I'm sorry. There was Spanky and Hanky. My friend Hank. If we can find my friend Hank who lived in Pennsylvania, I fucking, you know, like I like would do anything he wanted. I'm trying to think back to fucking 1995, but like he had a car and I had to go to Toys R Us and buy fucking starting lineups to flip on eBay. And I would do shit for him to have access to his car. Like I laugh when kids are like, but I don't have money. I don't have a car. I'm like, figure it the fuck out if you're a tough guy and can do it. You know, like you can't, don't be your dad and be no. You don't have a car? Fucking get a girlfriend who does. Literally get a girlfriend for a fucking car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's rugged a little bit, but like, I don't fucking know when you're in the dirt. You do dirt shit. Like, I laugh when people are like, oh, Garyvee, easy for you. I'm like, fuck you, dick. Nothing was easy for me. I was in the dirt, fucking got myself out of the dirt, and I still fucking dirt play. I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning on fucking eBay buying Tim Hardaway 1990 Fleer rookie cards, 500 of them, at 80 cents a piece, because I think it's gonna be worth $4. I'm fucking dirt out here. I'm fucking at the top of my game, and I'm in the fucking dirt right now. I'm in the dirt, 2 in the morning, brother. 2 in the morning, I bought 500 ungraded Tim Hardaway rookie cards for fucking 80 cents a piece with the hope that I'm right about basketball 90s and 2000s and it's gonna go to $4. Like, me.
Yeah, bro. And
yeah, bro. So like you don't have a car? Figure it the fuck out. You have a friend? Make a friend. You have a girlfriend? Make a girlfriend, a boyfriend. I don't know how you, like, do your shit. Figure it the fuck out.
Right. And
find your three other ridiculous friends and get to the fucking shittiest apartment you can so you can get the fuck out of the house. No more no. Get 3 friends that are yes and fucking live around yes and get the fuck out of no.
So
and ask for nothing. A lot of kids at 17 want to go on their own path, but then want mommy and daddy to do shit.
So should I wait till I'm 18 and then get those 3 friends, or should I figure something out now and then?
Always now. Do you have friends?
Yes, I do.
Do some of them have cars?
Yes.
Good. Figure out which one is also into the hustle life or is open to the hustle life. Great. That's your fucking ticket.
Yes.
What's his name or her name?
His his name is Bradley.
Right. So now it's about you hang up now and you're like, yo, Bradley, let's fucking go ham. I'm going to fucking work 15 hours a day learning everything that's worth money on the internet. You got a car. We're going to drive to, once fucking COVID or whatever the fuck you are, like, we're going to drive to fucking Toys R Us's. We're going to drive to sports card stores. We're going to drive to garage sales. We're going to drive to fucking, and you're going to learn.
Yeah, bro. Here's something else. My friend and I wanted to do this alternative energy business when we get out of high school, but the thing is that I might have to go to college for that, and I'm not smart on tests, and I don't know.
So don't do the energy business.
So
listen, me and my friend wanted to be the fucking quarterback of the New York Jets.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, if you're not good at school and you're not good at testing, like, fuck bro, are you passionate about the energy business, or did you hear people make money in the energy business?
At one point.
Tell me the truth.
Man, just to be honest, I just want to make my own living doing what I want to do.
Do you want to fucking trade energy, dick? No. You chased it because you probably heard from one person or read some shit, or your friend said, like, you can make some money trading energy. You don't give a fuck about energy, Clay.
Man, all I want to do is just do what makes me happy. I don't really
does
energy,
does trading, dude, stick with me here. Does selling fucking energy make you happy?
I haven't done it, so no, not right now.
Good. So let's take a step back. There's a million ways to make money. I'm about to make more money selling sports cards than everything I do. I'm starting, like, in the last week, I'm like, I just might fucking retire and just flip sports cards for the rest of my life.
Right.
Not retire, because fuck that bullshit, but I mean like retire from what I'm doing and convert. I went from wine to this shit. I might just go to sports cards. I think sports cards are generation's art. I think it's forever until I die. It'll go up and down, economy goes down, it'll go down, but not the fucking classics. So that's what I'm thinking about. It's definitely gonna be a major side thing. So like, what the fuck do you like? I see your fucking fresh hood.
I like fitness, man. I love lifting weights. I love doing cardio. I love listening to music. I love playing video games.
Let's go. That's a lot. So let's like right away, you need to learn how to flip video games and fucking like you should definitely learn how to make money. Buying and selling is a trait that's fucking unbelievable. Or
I've heard it.
And I would, if I'm you, I'm doing fitness content on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram as one thing. Right now. Beautiful. And two, fucking learn how to buy and sell shit.
I've been wanting to.
No, wanting, Clay, wanting is bullshit. Wanting is excuses. Clay, wanting's for fucking losers.
I've been watching your flip life things, but the whole thing is the car, and I couldn't.
Bro, the cars, yeah, because this is where you got to break away from your dad's thing. Your dad says no, you're saying no. I fucking figured out your car thing in 2 fucking seconds. It's fucking Bradley, bro. Listen to me. I appreciate that, but we need to level it up one side. You have to do. No more thinking. And if you're struggling with pops, moving out is an option. Maybe it's not. Maybe you wait a year. You know, people get mad. They're like, this fucking Garyvee is telling this kid to move out. Like, that's easy for people that have good situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like maybe it's right, maybe it's not. But I can tell you this, whenever you jump, whether it's tonight or whether it's a year from now, you have to do.
Right.
You can't think. You can't watch. If you watch one more of my garage sale videos without going to a garage sale, you're fucking losing. I'm not here trying to entertain you. I'm out here trying to inspire you to go do it for you. I don't want you to buy my shit. I want you to sell your shit.
What quality do you see in people that you gravitate towards? What do you love?
Optimism. I love optimism. You know, I hate cynicism. I want to build an empire on good. Like, I hate Steve Jobs' narrative. He changed the world. He's unbelievable. But like, he didn't make people happy that worked for him. I don't like that. I don't want to do that. My biggest ambition, if I can pull off what I'm going to pull off here, is to build a...
Gary, you are pulling it off.
Yeah, I know, but I have a ways to go. I am pulling it off, but anything can happen. Like, I truly live, Steph, in a world where I'm only as good as my last at bat. Like, I'm not interested in eating, you know, like consuming my hyperbole or reading my headlines. I like them. They make me feel good. But I'm not confused by them. I've got a long way to go to pull off what I really want to pull off, which is to become a standard of building an empire, a professional business empire on doing good stuff, not on, I was tough on you because I wanted to get the best work out of you. I don't like that. I want to win with honey over vinegar. I like that. I like happiness, optimism.
Okay, I know
but
all the time.
I want to finish. Optimism that is loaded with practicality. So many of you in here, and I know you're loaded with optimism without practicality. You wish you're something without really understanding who you actually are. And in that wishing, you change your behavior and you make yourself vulnerable for upside. And so I'm good at a couple things. And if you notice, the reason I have so much bravado and confidence is I mainly talk about my stuff. Look, I've been on your show and you know when it's subject matters, when I'm like part of it and I gotta say stuff, you know, if it's subject matters I don't know, I can be pretty like, you know, I'll get out of there, right? Like, I don't wanna talk about, you know, I'm doing Tuesday night, I'm in full promotion. Tuesday night I'll be on CNN, right? So I'll be with Don Lemon and I mean, what are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about politics. I'm gonna fucking dance, you know, like, you know, because I'm a headline reader. I have not even begun to really pay attention to the presidential race.
Do you vote?
Yeah, and I vote, I'm very proud of the way that I vote. I've voted very consistently on both sides of the aisle, and that's because I make it practical, not emotional. there'll be 2 candidates, and I'm gonna pick the one that I think I want to be there. And I'm not gonna get crippled by, oh, I live in a state where it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna do my thing, I'm gonna make my decision, and I'm gonna move on.
There's one thing you didn't talk about that I want you to.
Okay.
You talked about being optimistic.
Yes.
And you want to create an empire, and you want to do it, through love and not through hate.
Yes.
But I think you also do it with a level of brutal honesty.
Yes.
And that's something that in the PC, hyper-human resource wrapped world that we're living in a professional environment, many criticisms is honesty has sort of been taken out of the equation because we're forced to be so super sensitive.
Yes.
You're not super sensitive.
Not in this subject matter. Mainly because I'm selfish. And what I mean by that is I want to be historically correct. And if I'm not honest, I won't be. And that's it. I'm telling you right now, this is where I balance my good is so often so self-serving, but it manifests in such a weird way.
But that's okay if you're honest about it.
I agree. The fundamental reason that I try to spit my honest answer to every question is I have a very good long track record of being right, and I want to continue that, and I think there's enormous leverage in it. And so if I answer honestly and it becomes true, it really helps me, right? And I want to continue to do that. At Vayner and a lot of other places, you get into a place where, I think you said it right? You're in execution mode, and then all of a sudden you're managing a team, and those are 2 very different things. And it's the thing that I most fear in the organization, period, end of story, because you have incredible executors who yearn for the financial upside and the title to then lead a team, and boy, are those 2 very, 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 very different skill sets. And so I think the biggest thing that people struggle with, there's so many things people struggle with the transition. Number 1, the thing I hate more than anything in the world, which is micromanagement. I want to kick micromanagement in the face. I hate it. And it's something I just despise, and it's a major struggle because if you're a great executor, you know how to cross those T's and dot those I's, and when you see the person on your team who's not as strong at executing, you can't help it, right? It goes against the grain. So that's number 1 thing, facing yourself in the mirror and understanding, and and I've talked to you about this, and I've talked to so many leaders in this company about this, this is where people get pissed at me, most things don't matter. And that's a very tough mental transition to somebody that manages a team. The other thing that a lot of people struggle with, and I talk about this quite a bit in the organization as well, is when you're a leader, you have to be the bigger man and woman in every situation. And a lot of times people, especially when they make that first transition and it's the first time they're the leader, they look at it wrongfully because of society as I'm the boss, and they try to impose their will. Instead of what I think the real skill set is, which is become a full-time listener, a full-time empowerer, a full-time eat crap and have humility and empathy and self-awareness. And so you go from what I believe is IQ to EQ, and a lot of people can't make that transition. I think the reason this organization has grown so much is that's all I focus on when that transition happens, and don't try to put pressure on people for new business and client services and all the normal things one has to worry about. Now I'm the leader, now this client has to respect me, I need to make Steve happy. I don't care about that. I can take care of that at the highest levels. It's about really empowering people to become leaders, and leaders, I love this. I mean, this is obviously a subject matter I love. We talked about it even in yesterday's episode. It takes so much more motherly, historically stereotypical motherly skills to be a leader, and I think people are confused. I think by default people think it's fatherly stuff, and I think it's motherly stuff. It's emotional skills that allow somebody to make that transition, and really one of the biggest factors in this whole thing is self-esteem. If you're not able to believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna believe in you. And so I think one of the things is, look, I got fortunate. I got a mother that instilled so much self-esteem in me that I'm still trying to get some of it out of me so that I don't come across as like an egotistical craphead. But I think a lot of people don't have that. And a lot of people in my family don't have that, and I see it. And one of the weird little tidbits that I think can make this episode valuable is if you get into a leadership spot, and if you're self-aware enough to know that your mom or dad put you down your whole life, or society did, or you grew up as a minority, or whatever took self-esteem out of your body, or if it was never instilled in the first place, I think you need to find an outlet to create it. I think you need to find an outlet to create it. I think one of the things that I focus on here is I instill it. You know, I instill it. I do talk 90% of the time about the positives. I just can't help it. I'm optimistic and I just see it. I do see the good. It's what I do. There's always bad, but I think you need to seek it out, and that may come in the form of extracurricular activities. You might be a great soccer player or an improv actor, or maybe the person you date. Maybe you look for somebody who, you know, instills that. I think that's a very attractive characteristic. I can tell you the reason I married Lizzie so quickly was because she was my mom, and so I like coming home and having a cheerleader. Like, you're great, I love that. I want that. And so I think that those are the things that come top to mind. Winners want to take the last shot. You want to take the high with the low. When you are truly an actual purebred entrepreneur, you don't know anything else than getting the accolades or getting shit on when you don't execute. Actually, for the first, you know, it's really interesting. I had a 100th of a second, because I'm concerned about macroeconomic climates. For a 100th of a second yesterday, which is unheard of for me, I was like, ooh, what if like Vayner took a step back and I had to deal with like people being like, oh, you're not running this business well, or what's going on? Like, it was so funny. I thought of it for a 100th of a second, and then I got so happy. I got so happy because I quickly thought about the second chess move, which was, for whatever reason, if, you know, a couple of our clients, as you know, are starting to become very big clients, and I don't like them being too much a percentage of my business because they can go away the next day. I don't like that. So that maybe is why it popped up in my mind. Or I also think we're in a bubbly kind of world. You've got terrorism activity, you've got Wall Street being too bubbly for a long period of time. Anything can happen, things can happen. And so it was funny for me when I thought about it, because that's my job. I'm lonely at the top, I have to worry about everything and make sure I'm hedged and ready and mentally prepared for anything that could go wrong. And then I got excited about the second chess move, which was the thing I live for, which was the I told you so, when the doubters came and said, oh, why did you misplayed it. You didn't think social wasn't as big as you thought. You didn't see this coming. Then being able to navigate through those choppy waters. I often talk about being a wartime general over a peacetime general. Anybody can look good. Anybody who's watching or listening to this show can be an entrepreneur right now, because shit is good. When it gets tough, when there's not people throwing around $25,000 investment, when you can't put up your idea on Kickstarter and everybody wants to give you $100 because the economy's crap and they need their $100, that's when the cream rises. And so for me, the way I deal with it, the way I deal with it is, there is no dealing with it. It is my DNA. It is my only known gear. I don't even understand that damn question. Now, I recognize it to take myself out of the equation and try to answer for the whole. Look, you gotta put things in perspective. You know, if you want the accolades, if you have the audacity to want to be somebody that is successful, if you want let's play the data. If you want the audacity to be a millionaire, which is by percentage almost impossible, there's very few of them. If you really break down, like, let's play some math here. Let's keep it unemotional. Let's keep it, if you want the audacity to be in the top 1% of Americans which is a very rich country, are people in the hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in revenue, not millions. So we're talking about a very small group of people that are able to get to this extreme level of success in business. And we can have shows about, actually, you know what? Oh, I was gonna point at India. Danielle, tell India, when you do a show about like life and not business stuff, but like in the context of business, like life happiness, like there's a million ways, and we ranted on it the other day. But if you want the audacity to be a millionaire, to be successful, to write books, if you want the audacity, don't you understand the crap that comes along with that? Like, I wanted the audacity to be in shape. It's come with a lot of crap. It's been a lot of work. I'm 18 months in, and I'm like, I said this the other day, I'm not, on my fitness video, I'm not sure I would do this if I saw what I would look like 18 months later. Meaning, I'd look a lot better, but damn it, I would've been like, really? For every single day for 18 months? To wake up at 4 in the morning? Like I was like, oh, so you deal with it, because it's a very small price to pay for all the phenomenal stuff that you headline read and you aspire to and you dream for. The problem is, most of you don't want to eat that shit to get there.